How are we doing? This is Sebastian Masidi here with another video. I currently just got back from the gym. I took a shower and I was just reading a little bit of a book. I started reading. It's Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's pretty. Everyone knows about it. If you're into if you like reading a little bit about not so much. It's not inspirational. I think it is, but it's more just about how to manage money and tell the story of how a young man grows up in different perspectives. But it's a really good book. I'd recommend it. I'm almost done with it. I usually don't read books, but when I do, there tend to be books that will help me for something. Usually it's not going to be a book about like literature or stuff like that, but those are good too though. But today I just want to go through and talk about the just advantages and disadvantages and the actual truth behind what like e-commerce thing I do, which is Amazon FBA. Because I'm going to be making more videos soon, and I just want to be sure that we're all on the same page and really know, like, not just, the advantages of the e-commerce businesses and Amazon FBA, but some of the struggles that throughout my Amazon journey, as you can say, it was a struggle. So I just want to talk about those as well. So the first reality I want to get to everyone is that it is not a overnight success. It's not like a get rich, overnight thing. It does take a lot of, work and not just in the fact of actually getting the account set up and all that. All of that's really easy. Amazon makes everything really, really user-friendly, and they have really great customer service. If I ever have a problem, I can either call them up, send an email. They have multiple channels to get in contact with them, and they are really good on that. No matter what time it is, you can call them. If you have an issue with shipping, with your transactions, with payments, they have it handled, and most of the time the seller is always right. They're always trying to look for different ways to either make the service better or make it easier for your next venture with Amazon. So when I first started, I was actually looking at a video, and it was on like an ad, I think, on YouTube. I was with my dad too, and it was about this guy that he did the retail arbitrage route. Was just what that means is basically you go to like either clearance stores or you go to like different Walmart, Walgreens, like a bunch of stores that have like clearance aisles. Obviously, you scan all of those items and you see which ones on Amazon you'll make a profit off of. So that's one really good way I recommend, and to this day I still do stuff like that with different things. Not so much in physical, but I like to do like online arbitrage. So that's a good concept to do. But with retail arbitrage, what this guy was doing is he was going like Dollar Trees, and he found this soap. Like it's about an 8-ounce, 12-ounce soap, I think it was, and he bought it obviously for $1. At least here in Florida, it's $1, and I think tax went up. Now it's like 8.5%, but you probably pay like $1.07 or $1.08, I don't know. But so he had purchased those soaps, and he saw that they were selling for at least $12, I think it was, now that I remember, on Amazon. And after fees and everything, and that's another video I'm going to get into, is kind of outline all the fees, because when you speak of like, oh, I found a good product and it was about $5 and it's selling on Amazon for $7, you're basically not making any money, because there's like fees that Amazon takes out if you're taking the FBA route. And I'm going to be making a lot more videos of all the different routes and stuff you can take. So this guy was taking those soaps, and if your cost is $1 and it's selling on Amazon for $12, and it's something very small, like a soap for instance, it was less than £1 to ship, that's a lot of money you're making. And that soap tended to be, I think it was like selling like thousands per month. Like it was a really hot selling item. So he ended up making around like $17 million, I think it was, just in that soap alone. He was going to every Dollar Tree and then basically surfacing every single Dollar Tree to pick up that one soap. So that is one route you can take, and there's always trends with different items that people find like little gold mines. So retail arbitrage is a really good space if one, you just want to first try out Amazon, and two, if you don't have that much capital but you want to just start getting into the e-commerce world, because as everyone knows, it's still growing, it's fairly new, so it's a really good opportunity to take advantage of. So what I do right now, I did that for about 6-7 months, and it was going good. But the downside of retail arbitrage is that usually it takes hours on end to find at least a handful or like a good amount of product. it does take a very, very long time. At least for me, as I was, one, inexperienced, and two, I was just taking the route of going to, a lot of stores that at one point it was getting to the point where it was working, just because I would find a really good product and then you can just look for that product. So for instance, I was selling these, like, I'm not sure if you would know about them, but it's kind of like the instant ramen bowls that, like, you can put them in the microwave and cook your ramen in there. Well, it was like a macaroni and cheese bowl. Like, instead of using a pan to cook the boxed mac and cheese, you can just stick the box in that, like, plastic container. You can just cook the mac and cheese in the microwave, like if you didn't have the microwave cups for the mac and cheese. And those were about $1, and they were selling on Amazon for about $12, $13. So I was making pretty good profit, but at the same time, I could only find about 30 of them. So good money, about 30 of them, but you can't really scale from that. So the way I do now with Amazon is I go directly just to the wholesalers. So this is a little different, as in, when you're going straight to a wholesaler, you need a couple more things than just looking for retail arbitrage. Because with a retailer and a distributor, a closeout, liquidator, whatever you want to call it, all of those need something that's called either a business license, a resale certificate, and with all these things, I needed my dad, obviously, because I just turned 17 in October, so I'm still not even like 18, so I have to do everything with my dad, of course. So with that said, you basically, this is the hardest part for Amazon FBA when you're using wholesalers, because although the really big, like, advantage of the way just with wholesalers is, one, you can find, like, once they give you a product that you like, or you find a supplier that you like those products, they have thousands of those products. So it's not like if you're going through retail arbitrage and looking for individual products that might take 4 or 5 hours to scale from, even though you can do that as well. But with a Amazon FBA, like, wholesaler that does Amazon FBA, these wholesalers are having warehouses and warehouses full of products. So usually they have hundreds or even thousands of those products that you're interested in. So that is the advantage of using this route. The disadvantage is actually finding those distributors, those wholesalers. All of these distributors and wholesalers don't want to be found. They don't really use that much money into SEO, so they don't pop up on the first link when you look up wholesaler, Amazon FBA wholesaler on Google. They're the ones that show up on there. They are not that good when you're trying to get engaged in products. That's one. Two, the downside of those is that your margins are going to be really slim, since they already have so much traffic of Amazon FBA sellers that are just novice and they just want to go in and find a product and, like, kind of speed everything up. So they'll use those suppliers, when in reality you're using a lot slimmer profits. You're not going to get that many profits, and as well, they're feeding to thousands of already Amazon sellers. So by the time you see a good profit, or you see a good product, you won't have any time to actually get that product. And that's what I noticed with some suppliers that I was working with. Although there are really good suppliers, they already have such a big following and such a big email list, for instance, that by the time you were to check your email and refresh it, it'd be sold out. So that is one of the disadvantages, but at the same time, if you do put in all the work and find a decent supplier, once you kind of build that relationship with them, they start sending you better deals, they give you better payment plans, you don't have to pay all the money up front. So there is some pros with, finding and developing a relationship with them. So that's just a little bit of sum up I want to do, because a lot of people are still kind of, shaken up on really idea of this style of e-commerce business. Although it is a really, really good business, you do have to put a lot of work in. So I just want to stress that if you are trying to take this route, I'd go put 150% behind it and effort into it, because you will need it, and patience. I've started retail arbitrage February 2017, and then I started the FBA with warehouses and distributors close to like summertime, almost August of 2017, because I just wanted to scale and see, take it to the next level. And to this day, I'm still even looking for good distributors. Even if I found 2 or 3 good distributors that they even personally work with Amazon, so they are really good distributors, for one, getting ungated, and two, having good products. So even to this day, I'm still looking for good suppliers, and that's a never-ending chase, as if you want to, keep developing those good relationships with the suppliers you already do have, but at the same time you want to expand maybe outside of your niche, maybe outside of what you're just kind of comfortable to. And that's what I love about Amazon. It's never saying the twice in a day or anything. Everything's changing, and it's good. It's good to be on the selling end, as it is a really good traffic filled market, as everyone, as you can see, is either on Instagram, Facebook, and all that translate to just Amazon sales. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer, share my experiences, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer you from my experiences, of course. And stay tuned for the next MACCAST Monday. Thank you.